Dear Jack Smith, have you ever thought of visiting a toy factory? I believe that children especially, as well as the grown-ups, would be interested in seeing how a piece of cloth and cotton can become a toy animal in just a few minutes. My daughter, Carolyn Goodrich, has prompted me to write to you. And this letter's signed by Carolyn's father, Mr. Ross Goodrich. They live in Opportunity, Washington. Well, Carolyn, you asked for it, so we take you from your home in the great Northwest to the great Middle West to Kansas City and the birthplace of J.B. Toy Creations, one of our nation's big-time producers of all kinds of plush toys. There, for a tour behind the scenes, is Rev Mullins of KMBC TV.
Yes, I'm up to my ears in a wonderland of all kinds of plush toys. Collie dogs, bears, monkeys, donkeys, elephants. Every 6 seconds, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, some kind of a man-made doll or animal is born here on this assembly line of human hands and machinery. Now, this little fella's beginning, like the beginning of all of these plush animals, started with an idea. The idea usually pops into the head of master toy maker Joel Burwitz, who confers with designer Henry Gutentag. The designer then cuts out cardboard patterns, which I don't understand at all, but he does, and that's all that counts. Drawings outlining those cardboard patterns are then copied in pencil designs, usually by his lady artist assistant. That sheet of drawings is then placed on top of some 24 stretched out rolls of plush cloth, and a cutter with those electric scissors follows the pattern to cut off squares, circles, or what have you shapes in cloth. All those shapes of cloth now go to the sewing department, where these girls stitch the right ones together to form what you might call the body skin of the toy. The bodies get their heads here, and their arms, in fact, all kinds of limbs. These girls work in an assembly line, you might say. Some sew only the legs to the body. Then they pass the body along to another girl who adds some other part to the toy. There are all kinds of body and skin combinations because there are so many different kinds of animals and dolls. For those who need eyes, this is where they get them. This girl is operating the eye machine. I don't know whether you noticed it, but up to now, all of these animals have had their insides out and their outsides in. Here in this turning department, simply by slipping their skins over those iron rods, they get straightened out. The right side of the toys are now out in the open. They're commencing to look like genuine animal skins. One thing these toys don't have, and it's about the only thing, is muscles and bones. So here in the wiring department, they get whatever wire bones they need to assume some kind of position during their lifetime. Next, along the assembly line, is the manual stuffing department. Now, these men use iron rods to stuff an animal's arms or legs, where it's hard to get to. This girl here also adds some sound gimmicks if the animal or doll needs it, like this little bear. This is where he gets his squeak. Before we go into the big wind stuffing machine room, they wanted me, like the folks in there, to wear this mask because of the flying dust and cotton. In there are 8 big blowers that shoot the stuffing into the animal's tummies. Makes them really plump and solid. Let's go in. Now let's go on to the next step in this toy animal assembly line. This is the hand finishers department, where they get their little tummies stitched. Some, of course, like this dog, get other stitches for toes. And here's what they call the ribbon department, where the toys get all kinds of decorations. The dogs get their collars, the monkeys their chains, the mules get their saddles and bridles, and they all get their identification tag. And a final wind bath before being boxed, bagged, and mailed to stores around America. Well, that's how it is around here, where toys are born every 6 seconds, 5 days a week. So for now, it's so long from Kansas City and back to you in Hollywood.